So good evening, everybody. We're entering the heart of hurricane season, and any day now, you're going to turn on the TV and see a weather person pointing to some radar blob out in the Atlantic and making two basic predictions. One, there's no need to panic, and two, we're all going to die. Yes, hurricane season is an exciting time to be in Florida. If you're new to the area, you're probably wondering what you need to do to prepare for the possibility that we'll get hit by the big one. The best way to get information on this topic is to ask people who were here during Hurricane Andrew. We're easy to recognize because we still smell faintly of BO mixed with gasoline. Based on our experiences, we recommend that you follow the 3 simple-step hurricane preparedness plan. Number 1, buy enough food and water for your entire family to last 3 days. 2, put it into your car. And 3, drive to Nebraska and stay there until Halloween. Unfortunately, statistics show that most people will not follow this sensible plan. Most people will foolishly stay here in Florida. And if you're one of those people, you'll want to check out the following useful hurricane information and write it down, tuck it away, make sure it's someplace very, very safe so that later on when the storm does hit, it's nowhere to be found. We'll start with one of the most important hurricane preparedness items, homeowners insurance. If you own a home, thankfully we don't, you must have hurricane insurance. Fortunately, this insurance is cheap and easy to get as long as your home meets 2 basic requirements. 1, it's relatively well built, and 2, it's in Nebraska. Unfortunately, if your home is located in Florida or any other area that might actually be hit by a hurricane, most insurance companies would prefer not to sell you hurricane insurance because then they might have to actually pay you, and that certainly is not why they got into the insurance business to begin with. So essentially, you'll have to scrounge around for an insurance company which will charge you an annual premium roughly equal to the replacement value of your house. At any moment, this company can drop you like used dental floss. And since Hurricane Andrew, I'm sure our homeowners have had at least 27 different insurance companies. And this week, I'm pretty positive they're covered by Bob and Big Stan Insurance Company under a policy which states that in addition to any premium, Bob and Big Stan pretty much are entitled to on-demand my kidneys, Josh's, Peyton's, and probably our dogs. Shutters. If your house should have hurricane shutters on all the windows, all the doors, and if it's a major hurricane, you need to have shutters on all your toilets. There are several types of shutters, and with advantages and disadvantages. Number 1 shutter is your plywood. Now, the upside is these are really, really cheap because you make them yourself. Downside, you made them yourself. They're not going to work. Sheet metal shutters. The advantage to these is that they do work well once you get them up. The disadvantage is that once you get them up, that your hands are pretty much useless bloody stumps, and it'll take you at least until December to finish putting them up. Then you've got your hurricane-proof windows. These are the newest wrinkle in hurricane protection. They look like ordinary windows, but can withstand hurricane winds, and you can be sure of this because the salesman says so. He lives in Nebraska. So, hurricane-proofing your property. As the hurricane approaches, check your yard for movable objects like barbecue grills, planters, patio furniture, visiting relatives, etc. You should as a precaution, throw these items into your swimming pool. If you do not have a swimming pool, you must immediately build one. Otherwise, the hurricane winds will turn these objects into deadly missiles. And if you should happen to have deadly missiles in your yard, the hurricane will turn them into useless, harmless objects. An evacuation route. This is very important. If you live in a low-lying area, you should have an evacuation route planned out. To determine whether you live in a low-lying area, it's very, very simple. You're going to look at your driver's license. If it says Florida, you live in a low-lying area. So, the purpose of having an evacuation route is to avoid being trapped in your home when a major storm does hit. Instead, you'll be trapped on I-95 or I-4 in a gigantic traffic jam with several other strangers. Upside, you won't be alone.
Things you're going to need during a hurricane. You're going to need at least $167 worth of batteries and about 20 or so flashlights. Just to find out, none of your batteries match your flashlights. You need bleach. Why? I have no idea. but it's tradition. Plenty of hooch. First of all, you never know who's going to stop by. And come on, what else are you going to do during a hurricane? You need a whole bunch of chicken just to keep those alligators at bay. When those alligators leave and you've got them all settled, you gotta have a ton of bananas, because you know what comes after the gators? Monkeys. Lots and lots of monkeys. So that pretty much concludes what you need through a hurricane.
Oh, we did forget one more thing though.
What's that, love?
You need to have a really big knife strapped to your leg.
Love, you've got it.
Why? We don't know, but it sure does look cool.
Two more things that I almost forgot. You need a big old wad of cash to buy that generator from Cletus down the street. That'll just, don't know if it's going to work or not, but he'll charge you about $1,200. And hair gel, because you always want to look good.
Of course, these are just the basic precautions. As the hurricane draws near, it is vitally important that you keep abreast of the situation by turning on your television and watching TV reporters and rain slickers standing next to the ocean telling you over and over again how vitally important it is for everybody to stay the hell away from the ocean. Welcome to Hurricane Matthew 2016.